So, Fortnite Super's been out for nearly a month at this point. How am I feeling? Is it good? Is it bad? Is it dog shit? It's my favorite season. I'm not even gonna lie. Out of the years, the 3+ years I've been playing Fortnite, I think beforehand I really liked Fortnite Invasion, when they had all the alien spaceships and you could go into the really big one and you could play the fucking mini game in there. That shit was awesome, and that was peak. They outdid themselves. I fucking love Fortnite Super, bro. This shit is so good. So refreshing. I'm in love. I love it. Very quickly, they turned a season that I wasn't really fucking with due to the problems with, no shielding existing at the beginning and there being, no mobility, to just... I don't know, man. It brings a tear to a grown nigga's eyes. What can I say? It's fucking fantastic. So, we have our tiers here. Super, because, it's a super season, so anything that's super cracked is super. Cracked for anything that's good, but it's not super. The okay, this is mid, neutral, I don't know how to feel about it. And then dog shit, doggy ass, the worst of the worst. So how are we feeling about the base boost? A month later, it's just okay. With the amount of mobility that's in the game now, you're going to find yourself very easily outpaced if you're relying on this as your only form of mobility, especially if you're getting chased down by somebody that's using the Surf Cube, or even if you're running into somebody that's using the Ravens. The Ravens can very easily outpace the base boost due to how long it takes to recharge, and there is a mythic version of this thing now, which didn't exist beforehand, but it kind of really doesn't help, especially considering shockwave grenades are now more readily available. This thing is fine-ish. It's just that if you're relying on this as your only form of mobility, you're going to get your ass cheeks dug in. On the other side, I can't say that you should be using the fucking dash. I thought this thing would be a lot better because the Cerberus dash was actually fucking really good. Some people argued it was broken. So, putting it back in the game so soon after it being removed a little bit ago, you would think it would be good. But in this current meta with how much mobility there is, this is really, really bad mobility. The dash doesn't feel nearly as good as it used to when it was a Cerberus dash, and having to throw the little guy down and then pick him back up in order to use him, it's not great. It's not great, especially in comparison to everything else that's in the season right now. It's not good. I can't recommend using it. The DMR, I don't know if I put it in the lowest tier possible, but genuinely this is the worst weapon in the game right now. That is entirely how I feel. And equally, apparently there's an exotic version that you can find in Utopia City, and it hasn't been removed. It has explosive rounds instead of normal rounds, but it's the Deadeye. The problem with the Deadeye is that it's probably the worst DMR they've ever made. It has every problem that you can imagine under the sun. It feels slow. I feel like it doesn't do enough damage. I feel like it is genuinely harder to use than the other weapons, and the payout for this thing is not great. If you want to snipe people in the head, this is definitely not the weapon for you. If you want something that actually works like a functioning AR, I've come around on the Spire Rifle, so genuinely use this. Use the Fury, use a pistol, use the kill switch revolvers, because this basically has the same fucking range as an assault rifle, which is kind of insane. Honestly, use the Veil. The Veil is not even that bad at range. Literally, use just about anything else in the game aside from the DMR. This is, in my opinion, the worst DMR they've ever dropped. Period. It doesn't stack up well against the other weapons, especially in a meta where you have the Spire Rifle. Not cutting it. Fury is my Pookie. Do I want to say it's okay or cracked? Because it's not bad. It's not bad at all. I've come around on this weapon too. I used to think it was not that good, and then I started using it more, and I'm like, ooh. It's more usable than the base boost though. But it's not god tier. We'll come back to you. You're the tier where I'm going to throw shit in that I don't know how to feel about. This is probably one of the best pistols they've ever dropped. Hyper Switch is really fucking good. Solid damage, solid fire rate, has pretty good range for a pistol too. The exotic one is also like fun to fuck around with, the shockwave effect that it creates. Yeah, not bad. That's most that I have to say about it. There really aren't any downsides to using the Hyper Switch, if I'm to be completely honest. Other than the fact that it obviously gets beaten up on more longer range weapons, such as the Spire Rifle, the Kill Switch revolvers. That's really it. I was going to say the DMR, but I'm like, absolutely not. These things border on being broken. The mobility aspect, like if you're trying to use this to run away from someone, but the damage is really good. If you hit both shots with both revolvers, this shit hits for like 82 per hit. Insane. They have really good range. They can beat out ARs in some situations, which is fucking nutty. The hang time mechanic is really good. Yeah, really the only downside is you can't use these as a mobility item. Where the fuck is my music? That's what I thought, you dirty bitch. Anyways, yeah, no, that's like the only downside. You can't use them as like a concrete mobility item, but like they do everything else. They're good at like any range, do super solid damage. Yeah. They border on being broken, but I think the only thing that keeps them from being broken is that the mobility option on them is not good. You can definitely Splatoon it though, try to use it as a dodge roll. But you might get beamed, because especially if you're using the hang time mechanic, if someone has like a decent AR or they have a shotgun, they're just gonna fucking beam you right upside the forehead while you're trying to use the hang time shit. The crypto tree is okay. I called this one of the worst items in the game initially, but there are some situations where it's not bad to just be able to throw it down and do 100 damage really quick to somebody. It's less effective if you're out in the open, but if you're in a really big building, for instance, if you're somewhere in Utopia City, or you're somewhere, especially in Lone Wolf Lair, where I feel like it is the best objectively, it's very good for catching people off guard and doing something, or like doing damage to them through the entirety of the building, which is like not bad. Ooh. 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 How do I feel about you? I like you. Oh, by the way, this list only included up until the grapple. I don't know why I put my hand on the screen, like you could see me doing... Oh, I mean, you kind of can, but like obviously you can... Anyways, it included only the items that are here up to the grapple, so I had to include these because I want to talk about them. But anyways... You're good. You're good. Nah, I thought about it for like a second. I'm like, nah, this thing actually is pretty good. So for mobility, not bad. You get 10 uses out of it. It goes decently far. I think the best part about it is that it makes you invincible to all forms of damage. So if you're at the end of the game and the storm is closing in around you and you have your cape, you can use that to avoid the damage of the storm. If somebody is shooting at you and you're on low HP, you can use this to become invulnerable for a little bit so that they don't do any damage to you and you can go heal up. Again, the 10 uses, I think that is a perfect amount of uses for the regular version of it. I have the Ascended one on here because this list didn't have it. Unfortunately, that is the only image that came out low res, but it's fine. It gets the message across. But just the regular Mist Cape on its own is a solid item. The Mist Gauntlets are okay. They're not super great because the homing is, homing is great, is good and all. 200 uses out of it initially. It's good, it's great, but it does low damage. The regular one does low damage, so someone with a shotgun is going to beam you upside the head. It's a very similar situation to the kill switch revolvers, where if you run into somebody good and you're relying on it purely as a weapon. Like, if you're relying on this purely as a weapon, or you're relying purely on the hang time of the kill switch revolvers, someone is going to knock your shit upside the forehead with a shotgun. That's all I can really say. Ah, fucking Christ, man. The shotgun situation is so miserable. They all have their own strengths and weaknesses, and I'm just going to go ahead and move the twin fire up so we can talk about it. This is objectively... It hurts to put this thing up here, but this thing and its subsequent exotic version is the best in the game. It hurt. It physically hurts to say that. It really does. The glaring issue with this thing is it only has 2 shots. So if you miss 1 shot, you're going to die. That has happened to me many times. That has happened to people that have used it against me. I have seen it happen on so many occasions because it is a very big risk and reward. You can 2-shot somebody. It's just that if you fuck up even 1 time with this thing, you lose. Because you get 2 shots. Now, the unstable yoink shotgun is pretty good because even if you fuck up your shot, the bullets can then pull someone into you like you're using the fucking Mortal Kombat item. So it gives you a little bit of leeway to, like, try and beam them upside the forehead, which is not a regular option that you have with the normal one, but regular outlaw, it's objectively the best one in the game, but God, it fucking blows ass if that's the best one. I want to put these lower, but, like, you're not going to get any other shotgun options right now. They did put the pump in recently because they're doing the summer event where they add an item in for a day and then take it out. But unfortunately, the pump being in didn't really fix anything because the pump's inconsistent damage made it as bad as these other ones. And unfortunately, the Centennial pump kind of has the same problem as the regular pump where you get more shots, you get 4, but the problem is that its damage is inconsistent. So if somebody has an outlaw and they're not shit at the game, you're going to die. You're gonna die. And then the twin fire, the problem with this thing is that while it has the most shots out of all these shotguns, it also kind of has the lowest damage output of all of them. So if you fuck up a couple of your shots, you're gonna die. Or if you try to use this thing in general, you might die to one of these two. Because the way that I see it, this is... The Dick and Ball Shotty is objectively the worst shotgun. This thing is better, but not by much. And this thing is the best, but not by much. They didn't do good with the shotguns in this current season, which is fine because I like moving away from a shotgun-filled meta. But at the same time, I kind of want to use the outlaw because it's fun. But it is very frustrating that if I miss one shot with it, I am just screwed. It's very annoying. Shield bubbles are solid. I don't think there's a lot to say about them. It's just like they're good cover right now. I feel like with how sweaty people are, you definitely need to have some sort of protection if you don't have good mobility on you. So these things, and subsequently shield bunkers, porta bunkers, which I didn't include on this list for some reason, despite including the shield bubble, but porta bunkers and shield bubbles are basically in the same tier for me. They're both cracked if you don't have mobility on you, and then once you get good mobility on you, those can effectively replace them, but there are still a lot of situations where you can use a shield bubble and a porta bunker to save yourself, so they're kind of interchangeable. They are cracked items, they are good. It's just that this one is technically a little worse than porta bunkers because the base boost actually goes through these, which I didn't know that until somebody hit me with that. I'm like, right? At least with the porta bunker, it can take a hit before the base boost breaks it because they nerf the damage that these things do to structures. But, you know, anyway, it's a good item. Shockwaves are shockwaves. I don't think they're ever going to be bad. They used to be rare as shit, but there is now an NPC at Lone Wolf Lair that sells them for 300 gold a piece, and I believe you get, what is it? 300 gold for 2 shockwaves. It's not the best, but it's the most reliable way to get them, because beforehand the only way you could get them is through shrines, and let's be real, no one was using shrines. So these things essentially didn't exist before you could buy them at Lone Wolf. Man, if I come around on you. Man, if I come around on you. Crazy. I used to think this thing was like ass. This is low-key one of the best weapons in this season. The huge magazine size is its biggest perk. It gets 50 shots, and then the mythic version gets 55. This thing melts cars, has good range, has good consistent damage. The only thing that's really shitty about it is its reload speed. The reload speed is abhorrent. I'm pretty sure a geriatric old person could find their way out of their chair before you have time to reload this thing. It is so slow. And even with DEADEYE's medallion, it's still slow. Oh my fucking god. The twin fire shoddy also suffers from this problem, which sucks because this thing's actually not a good weapon, objectively. But like, it's only an okay because the other two shotguns actually somehow make this thing shine. But, unlike the twin fire shotgun, this thing is just a super solid weapon. I have fallen in love with it. I used to think that the Fury was better in it. That's why I don't know how to feel about the Fury anymore. Because I feel like the Fury, objectively, is like a worse Spire rifle. But, like, it doesn't do as much as the Spire rifle, which is why I'm very conflicted about the Fury nowadays. Is it playing music? Yes, it is. My fault. Alright, Storm Beast pom-poms. I fucking love these, bro. They're so good. So good. Good mobility. Basically turns you into a mini-boss, the Storm Beast. You get to run around as a gigantic creature. You can do gigantic slams into the ground. You can slash at people. The HP that you get when you turn into Storm Beast is actually tied to the durability of the item, which I think is a really interesting way of balancing it, and I like that a lot, genuinely. The biggest downside of Storm Beast is that its damage output is really low. I like that, because with everything that Storm Beast is able to do, if it had a really high damage output, that would be objectively the most broken item right now. Like, genuinely, if it had a good damage output, honestly, it would go above Super. It would be in its own tier. But, yeah, no, Storm Beast is very good. It just has low damage output, but it can basically do like anything else that you really want it to. So, not much to say. Is the music playing? Oh my god, it's so fucking quiet. I didn't realize that it was. God damn, why did I pick Minecraft music? Am I stupid? Anyways, I don't care about this thing. It's not really a good weapon, but if you use it, I'm just like, sure, whatever. It's basically a reskin, It's a reskinned plasma laser cannon. The thing that was just in the game before they removed it. And it's really not that much different. But with the current meta of Super, it's not like a super useful item, but you can get some use out of it. Yeah, it's an option if you really want it. This fucking thing! Can I be so for real? This is the best mobility in the game. Not like in the history of Fortnite, but like for Super. This thing, it's not broken by any means. I think it would be broken if you could attack while using it. But you can use it for so long. It's basically an upgrade of the hoverboard. And if you know the hoverboards, those were basically just infinite mobility that you could travel on as long as, you know, nobody shot at it. Basically like a car, but better because it's smaller and people can't shoot at it as much. And the cool thing about the hoverboards is that you could actually heal on them. So it's like one of the only like vehicles where you could actively travel and heal at the same time. And you could also use your gun as well. And this is basically the same thing, minus you can't heal and use your gun while using it. And thank fucking God they took that out. Because this thing Again, it's a hoverboard, but it has the added bonus of being able to fly in the air. So if you could heal and use your gun while using this, this would objectively be the best item in the game right now. It already is one of the best items, and it is the best mobility. By far. It's not even a fucking question. But it is one of the reasons I wanted to make this tier list, because I want to talk about it. It's such a good item. I love it. I like the way that they balanced it. Do you have a reason to use this thing? Like, just in comparison to everything else that we have in the game right now, why would you use the Surge Fire? This thing's still strong. Kind of fucking annoying. Kind of very annoying. I hate it. I hate the tracking faster still. You are... I want to say you're cracked. But, ooh, I don't want to say it's as bad as the Twin Fire. But low-key... While this thing, I think, is a good weapon objectively, its low damage output in comparison to some of the heavy hitters... In comparison to some of the heavy hitters during this season, the Veiled SMG, unfortunately, has fallen from grace. This thing is still busted. It's not as good as the Surf Cube, but just about. It definitely has fallen off a little bit, though, because objectively, if this was, like, during the launch, and we didn't have these other mobility items in the game right now, it would go up here, because it would be the best item in the game still, but it is now just one of the best items in the game. So here's the reason I wanted to make this tier list. I can't decide for the life of me if the medallion itself is busted or if it's just the player base that uses it. I found out recently when I'm playing Fortnite matches, whenever I find some way to get rid of the core medallion, I usually win the match. If I don't, and I let somebody take it, they start digging into the butt of every nigga that is in the lobby, and then they come for my cheeks next. It makes me sound like a conspiracy theorist, genuinely, like I'm losing my fucking mind. But genuinely, my theory is that this medallion itself, while it is good, because it increases your movement speed, it increases your jump speed, it turns you invisible when you sprint jump. While that is all good, it's not a game changer in itself. So what is my theory? My theory is that when it's in my hands, I'm a normal human being. This is because I had a thing called a job. I was employed. Therefore, having employment brain, despite currently now being unemployed, therefore, does nothing to me. However, when the core medallion gets into the hands of somebody who is a sweaty, crusty, disgusting, amalgamated fuck of their flesh and their stupid, dumb, stinky, greasy gaming chair that has melded into their body, when the core medallion hits this amalgamation, this form that used to at least be 50% human, maybe, perhaps, they turn into a crack fiend. So I can't tell whether or not it's the medallion itself that is broken, or the absolute disgusting, degenerate, disgusting, amalgamated bastards that touch this medallion. But as of late, this thing has been the determining factor in whether or not I win a match. And I am so sick and tired of having to work into my daily agenda that I have to go out of my way to get this medallion to make sure that these disgusting, crusty, smegma-ridden fucks do not get their hands on this. For that and that alone, this thing is going in question mark tier. Where the fuck am I? Shit. Fuck. Sorry, the fucking core medallion like took me out of reality for a second. I didn't know where I was. I was in a different mind space. I was in a fucking space-time continuum that just didn't exist within our corporeal realm. I think I need to clean my fucking camera. It looks dirty, musty, like my skin color. Sorry. I'm doing too much. Doesn't that look better? Daigo's medallion is solid. Gives you a better reload speed, and it gives you shielding. That's it. It's good. Is it a must-have? Not really. It doesn't fix the problem of the reload speed of the Spire Rifle, so... Or the fucking Twin Fire, for that matter. So the two weapons that benefit the most from it don't get fixed by this, which is really funny. It's just like a slight ailment. I'm gonna go on a limb. I think the Ascended Mist is one of the best items in the game right now. So you get the mobility of the Mist Cape. You get the Mist Gauntlets. You combine them into one. You get 300 fucking uses, and then it increases the damage of the Mist Gauntlets. And it makes the cooldown even shorter. Whereas the cooldown, I think, on the Mist Cape is around like 15-ish seconds or so. Or I think around 15 to 20 seconds, or some shit like that. I think it's 15, actually, not 20. The cooldown on the Legendary one is 10. It's a good fucking item. It takes up 2 inventory slots, but it's literally 2 items in one. So, I don't really have any complaints about... I don't have any... Genuinely, I have no complaints about this item. It's perfect. I already love the Mist Cape, and I love the Mist Gauntlets. They're some of my favorite items in the game right now. Because I get to fucking turn into a bird, and then I can be like, Forsaken Fiends, come out and feast, little ones! Good job. Yeah, you guys see that guy? The fucking Forsaken guy? Forsaken Blade! Forsaken Time! Fucking love that guy, he's so fucking stupid. Anyways. Yeah, no, these items give me autism because I love birds. So, when you give me super birds, I'm just like, now I'm one of the Forsaken Fiends! It's fucking great, I love it. And then we get to the boons. So, Stormcaller is just okay. It replenishes, it replenishes your shields in the storm, and then on S rank, you get forecast. That's just okay. Speed Healer is insane, honestly. I'm just gonna go ahead and put it in here. That is the best boon. You get to sprint heal like fucking crazy. It is faster than your normal sprint, and then it also gets boosted when you have the core medallion. So you get to heal and have a faster sprint at the same time. It's good. I believe the S rank version of it gives you slap when you're healing sometimes, or something of that nature. But honestly, the S rank version of it doesn't matter. This is the only one where the S rank version doesn't matter, which is why it's so good. Combat Acrobat. So this partially reloads your weapons when you parkour, and then on the S-Rank version, it will partially reload all of your weapons when you parkour. Okay, not the greatest. And then Heightened Senses is really good. People that shoot at you get marked. And then the S-Rank version, the marking cooldown gets lowered. It has been super convenient. It has also tricked me into thinking that there are people tracking me with the fucking visor, and then I realize, oh wait, it's just my boon, like, helping me out. So, yeah. This is basically just the tracking visor as a boon, but specifically for people that are attacking you, which is really good. This allows you to have a faster sprint while you can heal at the same time. Really good. And these two are kind of just like, they're okay, but you kind of don't really need them. You don't really need any of the boons, honestly, in order to play the game. But these two, definitely, if you get your hands on them, are fucking super, super solid. But, yeah. I think that is my new Fortnite super tier list a month in. Kind of crazy how, in this current meta, I feel like the Surf Cube is the best item in the game, but, like, legitimately, it kind of fucking is, because that thing... very fucking good. It would probably go in a fucking higher tier, one above, if you could heal and shoot, like, on a regular hoverboard, but I genuinely hope that is not a change that they make. The Surf Cube does not need that. It is already, in my opinion, the best item in the game right now, so... And then I think I'm gonna go ahead and... there we go. Yeah. I don't know how to feel about the core medallion, because, like, the core medallion itself, the buff that it gives you, is good. It's not a must-have, but when I don't go actively out of my way to stop people from getting it, the niggas that get that shit, they get my butthole so fucking far that they reach places I didn't even know were inside the human body. And if I start having a discussion again about this, I'm gonna blank out and fucking wake up somewhere, like in a completely different mind space, bro. And I'm just gonna start sounding like fucking Courage the Cowardly Dog, bro. Like, so yeah, I think to prevent that from happening and to not make this video like 2 hours long, we're just gonna go ahead and leave it at that, because, oh my god, I don't think I am ready to lose my mind on camera trying to determine how I feel about the core medallion. It is generally the most conflicted that I've felt, and I think it's truly only because of the player base, if I'm to be completely honest. But obviously, it's not entirely just the player base, because it has something to do with the medallion itself, which I don't really know. Is it slipping lead into people's water supply? Is it giving them crack? I don't know, but if I keep talking about it, we're definitely going to have another discussion. So I think that is my definitive Fortnite super tier list a month in. How are we feeling? How are we doing? And now I have to remember whether it's F and F7 that ends the video, or F and F8. I think it's F and F7, so... you may see a cut in the video if I hit the wrong button, or the video will end if I hit the right buttons. Let's find out. Let's go with the number 7. It was 8.